You're sitting in that little glass office at the back of the dealership. The salesman shook your hand, smiled, and vanished. Now a man in a crisp shirt slides a folder across the desk and starts talking fast about monthly payments. And in that moment, everything you thought you knew about buying a car is about to cost you money. Here is what took me years to figure out. That friendly office, the coffee, the handshake, all of it was designed so that you never see the three simple things that would protect you. You were told the dealership gives you the best deal. You were told the monthly payment is what matters. Both of those ideas were built by people who profit when you believe them. I went digging through a federal settlement from the year 2013 and a window sticker law written back in 1958. What I found explains why a finance manager's whole day falls apart the second someone over 65 walks in carrying 3 ordinary items. None of it costs you a dime. You already have all 3 at home right now. I remember buying a Buick with my late wife back in the 1990s, out on a gravel lot near the county road, and driving away feeling proud. It took me 2 decades to realize how badly we got taken that afternoon. So, let me save you from the mistake I made. Let me start with the first thing they hope you never notice, because it happens before you even reach that back office. You've probably been told the smartest way to shop for a car is to figure out what monthly payment you can afford, then find a car that fits. That advice sounds responsible. It sounds like something a careful person would do, and it is the single most expensive belief you can walk onto a car lot carrying. Here is where it came from. Back in the 1950s and 60s, dealerships figured out something about human beings. If they could get you talking about the monthly payment instead of the total price, they could hide almost anything inside that payment. A longer loan, a higher interest rate, hundreds of dollars in extras. As long as the monthly number sounded comfortable, most people signed. There is even a tool for this. Old-time salesmen called it the 4 square. It is a piece of paper divided into 4 boxes. 1 box for the price of the car, 1 box for your trade-in, 1 box for your down payment, and 1 box for the monthly payment. The salesman bounces you between those 4 boxes, and every time you push down on one, he quietly pushes up on another. You think you won on the trade-in. You didn't notice the price crept up. You think you got the payment down. You didn't notice the loan got a year longer. I have sat in that chair. I have watched a young man scribble numbers on that grid, tear off the sheet, and walk it into a back room to talk to a manager who did not exist. The whole performance is a stage play. The 4 boxes are the props. So what do you do instead? You refuse to talk about the monthly payment at all. When they ask you what payment you're looking for, and they will ask within the first 2 minutes, you say one sentence. I'm negotiating the total price of the car, not the payment. That's it. Say it kindly. Say it firmly. Then watch how the energy in the room changes. Because the truth is, a car has one honest number, and it is the full, out-the-door price. Everything else is a distraction designed to move your eyes off that number. The month I finally understood this, I sat down and added up what that Buick really cost us after all those years of interest, and I felt sick. We had paid for that car nearly 1.5 times over. Let me put a number on the counter, because I'm going to keep a running tally of what this ignorance quietly costs. Focusing on the monthly payment instead of the total price costs the average buyer somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000 per car. Over a lifetime of buying 6 or 7 cars, that is easily $10,000 gone into thin air for the simple crime of answering the wrong question. But the monthly payment trick is only the doorway. The real money is made in a room you haven't entered yet. Therefore, let me take you through that glass door into the office where the biggest secret of the whole business lives. You have always been told that the dealership will get you the best interest rate because they work with so many banks. They tell you they'll shop it for you, they make it sound like a favor. And this is the belief that has quietly drained more money out of older folks than almost anything else in the building. Here is what actually happens when that finance manager takes your information and runs your credit. He sends your application out to lenders, and those lenders send back the real interest rate you qualify for. Let's say a bank approves you at 5%. You will never hear that number because the dealership is allowed, perfectly legally, to add points on top of that rate and keep the difference. So the bank says 5%, and the finance manager tells you the best he could do was 7%. That extra 2%, that is pure profit for the dealership, and you pay for it every single month for years. This is not a rumor. This is not me guessing. In the year 2013, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the Department of Justice went after one of the largest auto lenders in the country, Ally Financial, and reached a settlement of $98 million. $98 million. The reason? What they call dealer markup or dealer reserve. Regulators found that this hidden markup on interest rates was costing car buyers real money and hitting certain groups even harder. Older borrowers, people who trusted the process, people who never thought to ask. That is the villain I promised you. It is not one crooked salesman. It is a system, a room, a set of practices built inside that back office, specifically to make the total cost of your car disappear into a fog of monthly payments and friendly paperwork. The finance office is not a service they provide to you. In most dealerships, it is the single most profitable department in the entire building, more profit than selling the actual car. So here is the first of the 3 things you bring with you. You bring your own financing. Before you ever set foot on that lot, you go to your bank, or far better, a local credit union, and you get pre-approved for an auto loan. You walk in holding a pre-approval letter or a draft check for a set amount at a set rate. Why does this destroy their whole plan? Because now they cannot hide the interest rate inside the monthly payment. You already have a number in your pocket. Now the only way they can earn your financing business is to actually beat your credit union's rate out in the open where you can see it. And credit unions, by the way, consistently offer some of the lowest auto loan rates in the country, often a full 1 to 2 percentage points below what a dealer quotes. They are member-owned. They are not trying to squeeze a reserve out of you. I want you to picture the finance manager's face when you slide that pre-approval across the desk. The whole script he memorized goes out the window. He can no longer ask what payment you're comfortable with. He can no longer stretch the loan to 60 or 72 or 84 months to bury the cost. You have taken his most profitable tool and set it on the desk in front of him, switched off. Let me add this to the counter. That hidden interest markup, just 2 points on a $30,000 loan over 5 years, cost you around $1,600. Combine that with the monthly payment trick from before, and we are already standing at more than $3,000 lost on a single car. And I promise you, we have not reached the most expensive part yet. Now, you might be thinking, I don't want the hassle of going to a bank first. I'll just take my chances. And I understand that feeling completely. But therefore, let me show you the second thing you bring, because this one costs you nothing but a phone call and a single sheet of paper, and it may be the most powerful of all 3. You have been told that the price on the window sticker is the price, and that whatever fees show up at the end are just standard, just the way it works. Nothing anyone can do about them. That belief is worth a fortune to them. Here's the second thing you bring to the dealership. A written, out-the-door price. Not a monthly payment, not a ballpark, the complete, total, final number it will take to drive that specific car off the lot, taxes, and every fee included, written down on paper before you ever agree to anything. Let me tell you why this simple sheet of paper terrifies a finance manager. Between the price you shake hands on out front and the total you actually sign for in the back, a whole parade of fees marches in. Documentation fees, dealer preparation fees, advertising fees, Electronic filing fees. Some of these are real. Many of them are pure invention, dressed up in official-sounding language to make you feel foolish for questioning them. Take the documentation fee, the one they call the doc fee. In some states, it is capped by law at $50 or $80. In states with no cap, I have seen dealerships charge $500, $600, even $800 for the same few minutes of paperwork, same forms, same computer. The number is simply whatever they think you'll pay without blinking. It is not a government fee, it is not required, it is profit wearing a costume. So how do you use the second thing? Before you go in, or right when you sit down, you ask one clear question. I need the complete out-the-door price for this exact car in writing with every fee itemized, and you write it down, or you have them write it down and hand it to you. Once you have that total on paper, every new fee that tries to sneak in afterward has nowhere to hide because it wasn't on your sheet. Now, I know some of you are listening to me and thinking, this sounds like something for confident people, for folks who are good at arguing, and I am just not built that way. I never was either. So, let me speak directly to you now, because this next part was put together especially for the person who feels they have no one in their corner and no fight left in them. You do not have to argue with anyone. You do not have to be clever or quick or good with numbers. The beauty of the written out the door price is that it lets the paper do all the arguing for you. Here is exactly how someone living alone on a fixed income with nothing but a phone and a kitchen table does this today. You call 2 or 3 dealerships that have the car you want. You do not go in. You call, and you say the same simple words to each one. Please email me the full out-the-door price for this vehicle with the stock number, including all taxes and fees. That's all. Some will try to get you to come in. You just repeat, I'm ready to buy from whoever sends me the best out-the-door price in writing. Then you hang up and you wait by your email or your mailbox. When the numbers come in, you sit at your own kitchen table in no hurry with a cup of coffee, and you compare them side by side. No pressure, no man in a nice shirt watching your face. No coffee that keeps you sitting there too long. Just 3 pieces of paper and your own good judgment. You circle the lowest honest total, and that becomes your target. You have just done the entire negotiation without raising your voice once, without leaving your home, without anyone able to read your worry or your hope. I tried this myself a few years back for a used sedan, and I will never forget it. 3 dealerships, 3 emails. The spread between the highest and the lowest out-the-door price on the exact same type of car was over $2,000. Over $2,000 for the same car, decided entirely by which one thought I was too polite to compare. That afternoon at my kitchen table earned me more than most people make in a week of work, and I never took off my slippers. Everything I just walked you through, the pre-approval, the out-the-door price, the Monroney sticker, the add-on tactics, I have gone much deeper on all of it in my book, Smart Keys. If this conversation has been useful to you, that book was written to be the complete guide you bring with you, not just to the dealership, but to every financial decision that gets harder to see clearly as the years go by. It sits right alongside my other titles, Deep Senior Edge and Deal Done, all of them built around the same belief, that you deserve the honest version of every transaction, not the one designed to profit from your trust. You can find it mentioned in the description below, and I think you will feel within the first chapter that it was written specifically for you. So let me update our running total, because the numbers only get bigger from here. The fake and inflated fees, the doc fee padding, the phantom charges, these routinely add $500 to $1,000 to a deal. Add that to what we already have, and we are now past $4,000 quietly lost per car, all of it recoverable with a pre-approval letter and 1 sheet of paper. And still, I have saved the biggest one for last, because the third thing you bring protects you from the most profitable trick in the entire building. You have been told that once you agree on the car, the hard part is over, and the rest is just signing papers. That the finance office is where they simply finalize things. This is perhaps the most dangerous belief of them all, because the finance office is not where deals get finalized, it is where deals get fattened. Remember I told you that the finance department is often the most profitable part of the dealership? Here is how it earns that title. Once you're worn down, happy about the car, ready to be done, they bring out the extras. The add-ons. Row after row of products with big markups and confusing names. And they present each one as protection, as peace of mind, as the responsible thing to do, especially, and I want you to hear this clearly, especially for someone your age. Let me name them for you, because knowing the name strips away their power. Extended warranties, which they may call vehicle service contracts, gap insurance, paint and fabric protection, rust-proofing and undercoating, tire and wheel protection, key replacement plans, VIN etching, where they scratch a number into your windows and charge you hundreds, nitrogen in the tires. I have seen a charge for nitrogen in the tires, my friend, as though ordinary air, which is already mostly nitrogen and completely free, were somehow not good enough. Now, let me show you the numbers, because this is where the fog is thickest. An extended warranty that a dealer sells you for $2,500 may have cost them $800. The rest is profit, and it is split with the finance manager as commission. That is why he pushes so hard. Gap insurance, which covers the gap between what you owe and what the car is worth if it's totaled, might be sold to you for $700 in that office. That very same gap coverage, bought through your credit union, often costs around $200, sometimes less. Paint protection packages sold for $1,000 are frequently a spray-on product worth a small fraction of that. So the third thing you bring is not really an object. It is a decision you make before you walk in, written on that same sheet of paper so it cannot waver when you're tired. You bring a firm, prepared no. You write across the top of your page, in your own hand, no add-ons in the finance office. And when the products come out, one after another, you point to your own words and you say, I've already decided, no thank you, just the car and the financing. Why does this quietly infuriate them? Because that finance office is built entirely on tired agreement. They save the extras for the very end, after hours of sitting, after the excitement, when your defenses are down and you just want your keys. A person who walks in having already decided, in writing before the fatigue set in, cannot be worn down. You have taken away the one weapon that room depends on, which is your exhaustion. And if there is something you truly do want, like gap coverage, you now know to buy it from your own credit union afterward, calmly, for a quarter of the price. You are not saying no to protection. You are saying no to being overcharged for it by 300 or 400% while you're too tired to think straight. Let me set the counter where it truly belongs now, because this is the moment it becomes real. The finance office add-ons, all told, commonly inflate a car purchase by $2,000 to $4,000. Stack that on everything else. The payment trick, the interest markup, the phantom fees, and a single trip to buy one car can quietly cost an unprepared buyer $6,000 to $8,000 more than it should. Over the handful of cars a person buys across their later years, we are talking about the price of a car all by itself, evaporated, handed over, politely, with a smile and a cup of coffee. But here is the part I did not expect to find. The piece that turned all my digging into genuine anger, and then into something better than anger. Because after I understood the payment trick, and the interest markup, and the fees, and the add-ons, I kept asking myself one question. How is it legal to hide all of this from an ordinary person? And the answer led me to a law from 1958 and to a secret hiding in plain sight on the very window of the car. There is a federal law called the Automobile Information Disclosure Act, passed in the year 1958. It was created because, back then, buyers had no honest way to know a car's actual suggested price. Dealers could simply invent a number. So Congress required, by law, that every new car carry a specific window sticker showing the manufacturer's suggested price and the price of every factory option. That legally required sticker has a name. It is called the Monroney sticker, named after the senator who fought for it, Mike Monroney of Oklahoma. It is the one honest document on the whole vehicle, protected by federal law, and it is a crime to remove it before the car is sold. Now here is the secret they hope you never learn. On thousands of cars, right next to that honest federal Monroney sticker, the dealership adds a second sticker. It usually looks almost identical. Same size, same style, same official-looking print. Dealers call it the addendum, or the market adjustment sticker, or the supplemental sticker. And on that second sticker is where they list all the padding. Paint sealant, $500. Fabric protection, $300. Nitrogen tires, $200. VIN etching, $300. A market adjustment of thousands of dollars in the busy times just for the privilege of buying that day. The whole trick rests on you not knowing which sticker is which. They want your eye to land on that second sticker and accept its total as the real price. But it is not. It has no legal standing whatsoever. It is a wish list. The moment you know the Monroney sticker is the only federally required one, and that everything on that second sticker is optional, invented, and refusable, the entire illusion collapses. You simply point and say, "I'll pay based on the Monroney sticker." I'm not paying for the addendum, and there is nothing they can do because federal law is standing beside you and has been since 1958. Think about that. For more than 60 years, there has been a federal protection printed on the window of nearly every new car in America, put there specifically so ordinary people could not be lied to about the price. And a whole industry quietly learned to paste a fake sticker beside the real one and count on your politeness to keep you from telling them apart. The truth existed the entire time. It was written into law before many of us bought our very first car. It just got buried under a second piece of paper and a friendly smile. That is the thing about all three of these tools I've handed you. None of them are clever tricks I invented. They are simply the honest version of the transaction, the version that existed before someone figured out how to make it disappear. Your own financing puts the interest rate back in the open. Your written out the door price puts the total back in the open. Your prepared no keeps the finance office from feeding on your fatigue. And the Monroney sticker, that law from 1958, puts the real price back on the window where it always belonged. I want you to understand what really happened here, because it is bigger than cars. Somewhere along the way, an entire process was redesigned so that the people with the most trust, the most patience, and the most politeness, which so often means people our age, would quietly pay the most. Your good manners were turned into their profit. Your trust was treated as a weakness to be harvested. And the cruelest part is that they counted on you feeling too embarrassed to ask the simple questions, too worried about seeming difficult, too tired at the end of a long afternoon to say no. So here is what I need you to carry out of this. You are not being difficult when you bring your own loan. You are not being rude when you ask for the out-the-door price in writing. You are not being ungrateful when you say no to the paint sealant and the nitrogen and the extended warranty. You are simply refusing to keep paying for a belief that someone else built to profit from you. That is not stubbornness. That is dignity. It is the same dignity that got you this far in life, and it does not expire at 65. If anything, it sharpens. The finance managers do not actually hate you. What they hate is a customer who walks in already knowing a pre-approval letter, a written out-the-door price, and a firm decision made in advance. 3 ordinary things, all sitting on your kitchen table right now, that turn the most one-sided room in American retail into a fair fight. And a fair fight, when you're the careful and patient sort, is a fight you win nearly every time. Now I want to hear from you, because your stories are how the rest of us learn. Think back to the last car you bought. Did you ever notice a second sticker on that window? The one next to the official one with the extra charges on it? Or did a finance manager ever push an extended warranty on you by pointing out your age? Tell me about it in the comments below. I read them, and folks in this community learn as much from your experience as they do from mine. So please, take 1 minute and leave a comment. Even a single sentence helps someone else walk in prepared. And if you are the kind of person who refuses to keep paying for something just because you were told to, then you belong here with the rest of us who have decided to stop being the easy customer. Subscribe and stand with people who see through the polished script and take back the honest, simple knowledge that got buried on purpose. Because next time, I'm going to show you the truth about the extended warranties you may already be paying for on things around your home, and the quiet little clause that lets companies collect that money for years while praying you never read it. You are going to want to see that one before your next renewal notice arrives. You walked in today believing the dealership held all the cards. You are walking out knowing the 3 cards that were always yours to play. Keep them close, bring them with you, and never again pay extra for the simple crime of being too polite to ask. You know, everything I showed you here was just the overview. Inside the Wiser Living Circle, I walk you through the deeper version of this exact video, step by step. And if something's still unclear, you can ask me directly, and a real person, me, answers you myself. You won't be doing this alone. So many practical seniors like you are already inside. Just point your phone's camera at the code on the screen, and you can cancel anytime. No risk.